Hi guys, I'm Missy, and if you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. So today's video is another full face of affordable makeup brands. It's getting harder and harder to say that because drugstore prices have been going up for makeup brands. This brand is a little bit on the higher price point side for drugstore. So there is that. But today's brand is a full face of Physicians Formula. Some of this stuff I did already have from the brand that I bought, and some of this I bought specifically for this video. And then some was gifted to me by a family member. So just a little bit transparency with that there. So I was told that this brand, I believe, was bought by Wet n Wild, and since then this brand has been kind of slowly disappearing. I just feel like that happens a lot when one brand buys another brand. I notice the one brand tends to just go away eventually. This brand did have a bit of popularity a while ago with their butter bronzer line, and they've been kind of like trying to play on that, kind of like Charlotte Tilbury does with the Pillow Talk, and NARS does with like the Orgasm line, things like that. They latch onto it and they just kind of just can't let it go, because I mean that's what sells, I guess, so they're like grasping for it, in my opinion. But I have quite a few things here to try out. I'm going to gather it all together and put it in order how I do my makeup, and I'll be right back. Okay, so first up, I don't really have any primer per se from this brand. Like I said, it's getting smaller and smaller of what they offer, especially in store. But I did pick up their Butter Glow Bronzing Serum. I've seen a lot of people kind of use this. What I'm going to do is mix it with my little bit of a ColourPop moisturizer I had left over, just so I can keep this from being problematic looking on me. At least I'm hoping anyways. So I'm just going to put a little bit of the moisturizer kind of on here. And I think I'm just going to do one drop of this. Okay, doesn't want to come out. Okay, I think I got some that time. Alright. I've never used bronzing drops before, so this is going to be interesting. I'm just kind of mixing it in with that moisturizer. These are basically supposed to give you like a sun-kissed glow, from my understanding. Well, maybe I didn't put enough in there. Like I said, I'm not trying to be problematic on this channel. Let me see what that looks like. I mean, maybe a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit more. Okay, that looks a little more doable. Okay, so not bad. I would probably use this if I want to kind of mix a little bit. I don't want to wear foundation, but as it did give me kind of a bronzy glow mixing it in with the moisturizer. You gotta kind of find the right balance though between shades of how many drops and how much moisturizer you use. So there is that. Just trying to take the excess off of my little wand so I don't get it everywhere. Alright, so next, like I said, I don't have any primers. So I did use that. And I do have a liquid highlighter. I haven't fully decluttered this yet, and I did pull it back out of my declutter area from last time because I saw that Betty Jean, who is Batty Bean here on YouTube, uses it as a illuminating primer kind of underneath her foundation. So I'm going to try it like that. I'm just going to take a little bit because I do love a glowy primer. I just think it makes you look a lot more youthful. It's okay as a liquid highlighter as well. I didn't hate it as that. It's just I don't reach for liquid highlighters very much. So when I saw her video, I was like, I didn't think to use it that way. So I wanted to pull it back out and see how I like it. So let's see. I like that. Yeah, that gave my skin a very nice luminosity to it. Alright. This goes to show that you should always try other things for your makeup. Just because they are labeled as a liquid highlighter doesn't mean you can't use it for something else. Alright, nice. And then the other thing I'm going to use is their green color corrector because I do have redness specifically here, and right through this area, but mainly on my cheeks. So I am going to use it. This is their Butter Glow Corrector in green. It says Radiance Boosting Glow. I'm going to be glowy today apparently. And it says a long-wearing multi-use radiance boosting color corrector that visibly neutralizes skin tone and awakens skin by correcting any imperfections. Incredibly creamy and weightless formula blends effortlessly while color correcting pigments and illuminating micro minerals deliver a luminous glow unlike any other dual-ended applicator allows you to apply with the doe foot and blend with the sponge. So they also have lavender, yellow, the green, and the peach in these shades. Okay, so it does have a little spongy tip on the end. Let's see if they have any recommended ways to apply this. Apply anywhere you want to color correct, brighten, and conceal by swiping doe foot applicator over skin, then blend and blur using dual-ended sponge. Alright, so I do like the fact that it does have a doe foot. It's one of the flat applicators. I am very picky about my green color correctors because if they are too light for me, they don't work, and I don't like them if they leave a super green cast behind and make me look like I'm the Wicked Witch of the West. Alright, so we're going to try the little applicator that they have. That sponge stinks, by the way. Like, the smell of it stinks. It's not the greatest at applying either, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'll use that sponge in a pinch, but I don't really like it. So I'm gonna go back in on the cheeks here, because that's always my worst area. And I am going to use a brush. I like to use my AOA Studio dual-ended brushes for things like this. Alright, so it did somewhat cover my redness, but it is not, and I layered it twice. Yeah, it's not my favorite green color corrector. My favorites so far are the Wet n Wild. Let me show you the ones that I use the most right now. The Wet n Wild Glass Correct. This is my favorite because it's a glowy primer and a green color corrector in one. I'm literally almost out of this. I need to pick it up another one because it is my favorite. And then the ZC one that I got in an Ice Cream Beauty boxer bag. I like it. And then when I'm just wanting to color correct quickly without any foundation or anything, I use the L'Oreal Magic Skin Beautifier BB Cream Anti-Redness. Those are the three green color correctors that I like. Alright, so this I will definitely end up passing on. I'll give it another couple tries before I do, but it's not my favorite so far. Unfortunately, I was not able to pick up the peach shade when I bought this because it was sold out, which I like to use under my eyes, but I do not have that one. But let's move on. So these are my primers done, right? So let's do my brows because that's what I do next in my routine. And I just like to brush up my brows with the spoolie first. And normally I run my Essence brow wax pencil through it, and then I do my brow pen or brow pencil. I do prefer a brow pencil a lot of times, and then sometimes I'll add a brow powder, but I do prefer a brow pencil followed by a brow gel. But I couldn't find a brow pencil, but they did have a brow pen. This is their Butter Palm Feathered Micro Brow Pen. It's a microblade effect. An ultra precise, transfer resistant, smudge resistant, budge resistant micro brow pen infused with keratin and our exclusive butter blend. Delivers full feathered microblade like results without the cost of commitment. Incredibly weightless formula and micro brush tip combined to create realistic hair-like strokes with precise application. It's infused with brow strengthening keratin and a powerful blend of Mumaru butter, cacao butter, and Takuma butter from the lush and nutrient-rich Amazon, packed with essential fatty acids and provitamins that soften, condition, and moisturize brows, leaving them silky soft. So, claims to be brow strengthening. Shake well before each use. Best applied directly on clean, dry skin by creating small strokes in the direction of your hair growth. As you guys can see, I have super natural, thin, light brows. I do tend to try to dye them when I dye my hair, which I need to do again. Let me try to get this open. Oh, but I don't know if I showed you guys. This is what it looks like. I got the shade Universal Brown. My goodness. Okay. So it says shake well. Let's shake it a little bit, and then I'll show you the tip, and then I'll shake it again. This is what it looks like. I will say I'm not the best at applying with these, so keep that in mind. Alright, so let's just try it out here. Okay. It is definitely a very light brown shade. But you guys know I prefer a dark brown, black a lot of times brow shade. So I'm trying my best to darken up. Okay. Alright, not my worst brow ever. I do need to see if they have it in a different shade. I think this was the darkest shade I could find at the time. Let me shake it up a little bit more. That's my biggest pet peeve with these things, is I feel like they, you have to keep shaking and shaking and shaking in between uses, and that's just inconvenient for me. That, and I can't really shape my brow because I have one brow. Like this brow here is like the perfect shape for me. I love this brow side, but this one drives me nuts because it wants to go more like that. So I try to shape it as best I can, a little more arched like the other one, but I can't really do that with these pens. Alright, I think that's going to be good enough for me. And I'm just going to take my spoolie and just kind of run it through some more, help disperse it a little bit better. Got a little heavy-handed right there. Okay. If you like these type of pens, it's not horrible, but it's also not as good as a lot of them I've used. I'm just trying to clean my brow up a little bit. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I don't love it, but I also don't hate it. But that's more of my personal preference type stuff. I much prefer a pencil over this. Okay. Alright, let's move on. So now we're going to use the brow gel. This is the Unstoppable Hold Brow Lamination Effect in Transparent. I believe it was Angelica Nyqvist on here that compared this to her Patrick Ta. I think it was her Patrick Ta brow gel that she loves. It says, an easy to use clear brow gel with unstoppable hold that lifts, tames, and sculpts every hair to perfection. Infused with keratin and our exclusive butter blend to deliver full feathered brow lamination-like results. Without the cost of commitment, incredibly weightless formula and micro-sculpting brush achieves precise application with minimal effort. Why it's good for you. Infused with brow strengthening keratin and a powerful blend of Mumaru butter, cacao butter, and Takuma butter from the lush and nutrient-rich Amazon, packed with essentially fatty acids and provitamins that soften, condition, and moisturize brows, leaving them silky soft. Okay, so directions: sweep and comb micro-sculpting brush in an outward direction to set and sculpt brow into shape. Okay, this is what it looks like. I am very picky about my brow gels, just as I am with my brow pencils. At least this package was a little bit easier to open. I spoke too soon. Alright, so it comes like this. You gotta take the little cap off and then just stick the brush down in there. I'm gonna give it a little roll to kind of get the product around the brush. Okay. Alright, let's try it out. Okay, it says upward and outward motion. Okay. I mean, I see a little bit of lift to it. I might try this out with a brow pencil that I like, just to be fair to it as well. Because right now I'm not loving it. This brush is a little hard. I do feel it like on my eyebrows. But like I said, I'm going to try it with one of my brow pencils that I know I love. So right now this is a maybe. And I'll try to use it before I post the video again and update in like a pinned comment or something. Alright, so we're going to let that dry down. As we're letting that dry down, though, let's see, what do we have next to use? Alright, so I think we're going to move on to more of the face. No, I'm sorry, we're going to do the eyes. I do not have an eye primer, so I am going to use the Butter Glow Concealer in light medium. I'm going to use that as my primer for my eyes today, and I'll also use it for my under eyes and stuff when I go back to face routine. Okay, so same as the green color corrector. It comes with this little like sponge tip which I might try that under the eyes because I might like it for under the eyes, but we'll see. But actually, you know what? I'll try it to blend it in for the eye primer because it might work well for that aspect. Just putting a little bit on of it. And I always use some sort of base on my eyes before I do any eyeshadow. That's just my preferred method of eyeshadow, applying eyeshadow. Okay. Again, the sponge stinks. It smells horrible. But it actually works quite well for this purpose. So, that's nice. Okay, which gives me a nice little base for my eyeshadow. I'm just going to go in with an eyeshadow palette that I already had from the brand, and that is their collab they did with the Breakfast Club. I mean, it's a very boring, very basic, neutral palette. Not very representative of that time frame, but it is a nice little palette. As you can see, I've used it a decent little amount, you can see in there. So let's just grab a brush. We're going to just do something easy, neutral today. So you do have more shimmers than mattes in this palette. You have 1, 2, 3 mattes in this palette, and they're all in the brown category. I'm just going to set my lid with this shade right here. They do not have names. There is lots of kick up in the pan with this palette. I don't even know if you can get this palette anymore. I don't think you can. But it is good for just a basic, easy, neutral look. Okay. Alright, that shade is very good for setting your lid if you like to do that. Now I'm going to go into this shade right here, this kind of like warm orangey brown. Again, lots of kick up, and I'm just going to apply that to my crease. You can get somewhat of a bit of a purple look out of it too, because there's a purple shimmer in here, like a dark purple shimmer. I'm just building up that shade. You don't really need to do too much building up with it. It is pretty pigmented. Okay. Just going to go back into that original shade I used to set the lid to help me blend the shade about the edges. Because I just want a soft wash of color today. I went a little too heavy-handed on this side, so I'm trying to get it blended out. Alright, and now I'm just going to go in with this dark brown here. And I'm still just using the same brush I've been using. This is the Michaela Glamlight blending brush. Excuse me. And I'm just going to pop that on this outer edge here. I do like to use that one as a brown powder liner as well. sometimes. Okay. And again, I do not have eye primer, but I like to use shimmer, glitter glue and like shimmer stay and stuff with all my shimmers. So I am going to grab that. I'm just going to use my Bella Beauté Bar Shimmer Stay. I've really been enjoying this product. I'm just going to tap that across with my finger. Just being kind of easy today with the eye look. Nothing super colorful or super intricate or anything like that. Just sometimes it's just nice to do a neutral, basic bee look, you know. Okay, so I think what I'm going to go into is, I haven't used this shade yet, so I'm going to put this on the outer edge, and then I think I'll go in with probably this one, and then this one, maybe this one. Alright, let's start with the dark brown shimmer. I'm just going to use my finger with this, and I'm just going to pop that right here. And these shimmers are not like wow or anything, but they're pretty basic shimmers. Okay, and now I'm going to go into this shade right here. I bought this collection because I love the movie The Breakfast Club. One of my favorites. It's not my favorite John Hughes movie, but it is one of my favorites. Alright, and I do think I'm going to pop this shade. Yeah, I'm going to pop this shade on the inner part. Oh, that is very hard panned now. Wow. Alright, I'm trying to get some pigment off of that, but we'll see. It is very hard pan. Alright, I got some pigment off of there, but I'm like really having to dig into it. Okay. I'm just going to go back in with my brush I was using. Just kind of clean it off a bit. And I'm going to go back into that medium brown shade, like warm brown. Tap it off. And then I'm just going to kind of put that back in my crease. Okay, and then again, clean off the brush, and then go back in to that lid setting shade to blend. Alright, and we're going to stop with the eyes for the moment. And we're going to work on the face, and then we will circle back to the eyes. So, that being said, I have this, which is their liquid bronzer. I pulled this back out of my declutter stuff as well. I also have their newer version, which is the Butterglow Contour one. I got the shade Fair Light. We'll probably end up using this today and not the other one. And I have the 10-in-1 Skin Perfector Mineral Diamond Perfector BB Cream. And I have a liquid blush. So let's just start with, you know what? We're going to use this as like an underpainting bronzer. And then we'll go in with the contour wand after. Okay, so this is pretty pigmented, if I remember correctly. I'm just squirting a little bit onto my brush. And I'm going to kind of dot it where I want to put some bronzer. Okay, we'll start with that. Okay, so let's do down here first and blend it out. I don't typically like to use liquid products like this that is like loose, doesn't have a doe foot or anything, because they're just harder to work with in my opinion. But this does blend out to give you a nice neutral bronze shade. It just kind of blends with your skin tone, It just kind of blends with the skin effortlessly. I'm gonna get a little bit more for my cheek areas. And then the residue I might use for my nose. And pop a little bit under my lip, just helps make your lip look a little fuller. Alright, I'm going to grab a sponge to go back over that a little bit. I'm just going to use the Real Techniques sponge that came out that's supposed to like mimic your fingertip. One of my problems with this bronzer is it does make me a little orange. That's one reason I use it for underpainting. But I had forgotten, honestly, till just now that it did that to me. Alright, so definitely going back in the declutter pile, but this one I think I'm going to keep out. Okay, let's move on. We're going to do the BB cream now. This says a complexion enhancing beauty balm designed to leave all skin tones looking radiantly glowing. This innovative 10-in-1 Skin Perfector moisturizes, primes, and provides lightweight coverage while diffusing the look of pores and imperfections. Skin looks and feels smooth, glowing, and naturally flawless. Why it's good for you: lustrous diamond dust creates a light diffusing blur that leaves a translucent veil of luminosity. Soothing mineral water and nourishing vitamin E transforms dull, dehydrated skin, leaving it feeling radiantly smooth and glowing. Its key ingredients are lustrous diamond dust, 100% certified authentic diamonds, soothing mineral water, and nourishing vitamin E. The directions say remove protective seal and gently shake before use. Okay. That's what it looks like. And again, I got the shade light to medium because it just looked very kind of light in the bottle to me. Alright, and let's shake well. So we're going to do that while we found a foundation brush. I'm going to use one of my favorite foundation brushes from It Cosmetics. And we're just going to grab another one of those little palette thingies to use. One of these. And it does have like the dropper applicator. Well, it comes out pretty quickly. Okay. Alright, I do think the bottle is very pretty though. Kind of gets like a diamond look to it. I think that's pretty. Alright, I'm just gonna kind of dip around with my brush here. Okay. And we're just gonna apply that is very light to be a light medium. I do see the luminosity to it. And it is a, what is it, BB cream? BB cream? Yes, it's a BB cream, so BB creams don't really have coverage. They're more of, like this one gives you luminosity and a little bit more of like evening your skin tone kind of thing, which are not my favorite things. I mean, I'm in my 40s, so I do prefer something with some coverage, but I did want to try this out and see what I thought about it. Okay, so I'm already seeing right away, it says that it's supposed to, what was it, help with the pores, like blur your pores. Yeah, while diffusing the look of pores and imperfections. It's not doing that for me. I don't know if you guys can tell on camera, but it's actually emphasizing my pores. Because right through here is kind of my problem area for that. And it's just kind of clinging to everything. I was liking how my complexion was looking before this. I don't know if this paired with this is making me look like I should be in the Twilight movie, because look close, I see lots of like glittery reflect. So I will have to try it with other primers, but right now I am not liking this at all. Yeah, it's very, I don't know, it makes my skin look crepey, if that's the best way I can kind of describe it. It's just clinging to everything and emphasizing everything. Let me go over with a sponge. Yeah, okay, so here's the thing. Right now this is going to be another one of those, I need to try other ways. A lot of times BB creams will look better applied with your hands instead of a brush or a sponge too. So I will try it that way with some of my favorite primers, and I'll update you guys either in a future video or pin comment or something like that. But yeah, right now, yeah, it's a no. Okay, let's move on to another cream or liquid product. Sorry, the liquid bronzer. We're going to do that first. This is their contour bronzer wand in the shade Fair Light. What it looks like. Says a long-wearing multi-use radiance boosting contour wand that provides buildable and blendable coverage for a flawlessly natural sculpted complexion. Smooth and creamy texture melts on contact, giving your skin a refreshed glow unlike any other. Cushion applicator dispenses product evenly to define features and blends out effortlessly for a natural contour finish. It's infused with illuminating minerals to impart a subtle radiance and a powerful blend of mumuru butter, cacao butter, and Takuma butter from the lush and nutrient-rich Amazon, packed with essential fatty acids and provitamins that soften, condition, and moisturize the skin, leaving it silky soft. Twist to unlock and gently squeeze until product is dispensed onto cushion. Apply to hairline, hollows of cheeks, sides of your nose, and jawline. Buff and blend out for a naturally sculpted look. Twist to lock. Okay, so I'm glad that it does have a locking mechanism. I hate the ones that don't, because the products tend to just seep out and make a mess. This is the component. Very pretty color. Lid just pulls off. Okay, so it says twist on, and then it just squeeze until you get product. Okay. Alright. There we go. Alright, so we can put it out here. Ooh, it seems kind of dark. Here. 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 Along here. Here. And here. Okay. Let's see. And then twist to close. And we're going to take a little ColourPop stippling brush. This is in the F4. Okay. Alright. It scared me at first because it looked very dark, but it actually blends out very nicely. Blends very effortlessly. Okay, nice. I like that one. Okay, I'll definitely use this one again. I definitely prefer this over this. I mean, yeah, you get a lot more product with this, but I prefer this applicator and this shade over this one. Okay, nice. Definitely a keeper for that one. Let's go in with the concealer now, and then we'll circle back at the blush. So I'm just going to apply it where I always apply. Under my eyes. Along my nose, my forehead, and my chin area. Okay. And I'm going to use a brush for the bigger areas, but for under my eyes, I'm going to try the sponge again. Okay. Alright, not bad. I definitely like this concealer much better than the one that was released. I believe they released one with that horrible foundation they released in the Butter collection. I hated those foundations. Alright, so let's just try this under the eye. Okay. Definitely brightens pretty good. I am going to see if it's buildable here in a second, because it doesn't have enough coverage under the eyes for me. Specifically right here where I get my dark circles. So this is definitely one that I'll probably have to use a color corrector with if it's not going to build to my liking. And I'm going to actually use my sponge instead. Hopefully that's not broken. I just dropped the palette on the floor. Okay. Alright, it's definitely buildable, and it's not as full coverage as I like, but it's still good enough that I would feel comfortable going out and not worrying about my under eye circles. Okay, so I'll definitely put this in my rotation, especially maybe use as a primer for my lids as well. Let's go and move on to the blush. I picked up their Mineral Wear Diamond Filler Cheek and Lip Color. Says for extra sensitive and breakout prone skin. This is the shade Brilliant Peach. So what it looks like, another one of those like pretty diamond looking bottles. So it says a weightless serum to cream hybrid color for cheeks and lips. This multitasking, blendable, long-lasting formula is infused with precious diamonds and our exclusively plumping complex that smooths and enhances cheeks and lips for an outrageously effortless monochromatic look. Lustrous diamond dust creates a light diffusing blur that leaves a translucent belt of luminosity. Soothing mineral powder and nourishing vitamin E transforms dull, dehydrated skin, leaving it feeling radiantly smooth and glowing. Our plumping complex features a unique blend of plumping essentials, hyaluronic spheres, a tripeptide blend, and vitamin E to help soothe and fill fine lines. Okay, it says using the doe foot applicator, place 1 or 2 dots on cheeks and lips and gently pat into skin for a seamless, neutral looking finish. Natural looking finish, not neutral. Okay, let's try it out. This is what it looks like. I really do love the bottles. I think they're very pretty. I think it would be pretty, like you say, you know, sitting on like a fancy beauty tray type thing. Alright, it says 1 to 2 dots. So we're gonna do 2 dots. A little one on my nose. Alright. And we're just going to use that ColourPop stippling brush. It's very subtle, a very, very subtle blush. So let me build it up. sponge this time. Okay, it's definitely buildable. Yeah. Okay. All right, nice. Just gives a nice flush to the cheeks, and you can build it up. All right, I don't hate that one. That one's actually pretty good. All right, so let's move on to highlighter. And all right, I'm back, and I did go ahead and apply mascara to the other eye and my bottom lashes, and then we can move back to the eyes. Not a bad mascara, but I'm gonna go back. But it does have this like that very liquid illuminizer. I feel like I'm liquid highlighter my eye a little bit on my lid that I do not care for. This probably will get thrown into my travel mascaras, simply for that reason. But I do think they did a good job of adding length to my lashes. I do have better mascaras for that, but this is definitely one that I would pick over some other drugstore mascaras. It's not like a wow in your face. Just wish I had a different one. Liquid highlighter. Okay, so which I do enjoy sometimes. We have gotten all the way down to a lip products. So the only lip products I have, and I already knew that I like this as a highlighter, so that was no surprise to me. That we already used on your cheeks. So now that we're looking at it on the lips, try it out. Super. And then I have the shiny, glowy lipsticks that I got from kind of adding our powders down. Breakfast Club. I will collection. That foundation, one of those is, it feels very like tacky, probably topped over. So I picked up their let's try this wear talc-free. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So I am going to use some products that I have already from the brand, and these were also part of the Breakfast Club. I did pick up both face palettes, Volume 1 and Volume 2, and I'll show you Volume 1. Volume 1 has a nice bronzer shade, some blushes, some highlighters. Very smooth. Pretty. That's Volume 1. Very pretty, like natural. And then there's Volume flush 2, color to the lips, which is just a tad bit deeper, more of like honestly natural look for the day. I could see definitely. Not only do I have these, like in a hurry, I also have just a little with a little pulled down bronzers as well. These were gifted to me. This on your family member. I think mascara maybe. One or two more that I already decluttered. This coming in handy for that. I haven't really, I used this one quite a bit down. It's still on the lighter side for me. And the butter cake one has like some shimmer. But I do like that color. And then we have the butter coffee one that also has like a shimmer to it. So it's more like a glowy bronzer. Really holding not really wanting that today too well. But they do smell very nice. Sweating. This is very hot in my filming room under the lights right now. These today, and I'm probably might mix and match with Volume 1 and Volume 2. Not really keeping my oil at bay. Alright, so first I want to go in with the bronzer shade. Definitely feel, yeah, it's bronzer shade called Class of '84. So and I think this is definitely going to be those ones that I just used unearthly for filming. Yes, it's their UC8-1. I'm already having that to powder my forehead again. And just dust some bronzer along my... So let me apply another one of the little lipsticks. Bronzer. I'm going with peach shades today, so maybe that one. Definitely. I like this brush because it's nice and big when I do quick bronzer rosy tone. Okay. So we're going to go with this one, and it does have a bit of a point. This one is called I Don't Like Mondays. I think it'll be a nice one to add over top of this lip and cheek. Yeah, very similar color. Okay. Nice. I do like these lipsticks. The components are very cheap though. I mean, very, very cheap. but they are a nice, good, creamy lipstick formula. So this way, like when the lipstick wears off, I'll still have that lip and cheek kind of underneath. Alright, so let's talk about everything here. First of all, I'll just start with the Breakfast Club powdered bronzer collection that I've had in my hands for a while now. I really like the palette. I mean, it's very basic, very neutral-esque look, but I do like it. I'm not happy that the one shade is already hard panned though, because I do keep my makeup sealed. And it's this shade right here is very, very hard pan. Like I had to dig. I mean, I still got pigment off of it, but yeah, I'm not happy about the matte. I use these little face palettes from that collection quite a lot, so I do like them, and I do like the lipsticks. I use them quite a bit as well. So let's move on from that, because that is not new to my collection. I didn't really use these bronzers today. If you like very subtle bronzers, these are the ones for you. Like I said, the one I use the most is the Buttered Donut. That's this one. And I'm going to go into the... They still smell really good. Shimmering. I haven't had a chance yet to use the Butter Cake bronzer. I might put that in my next rotation. We'll see. Because it's a shimmery one. They are. And then I used Butter Coffee once. It smells just like a latte. Okay. And I did like it. Again, they're very light, very subtle. I'm going to go in with highlighter bronzers. I did. So those are there are highlighters ones that were gifted to me. Brain. Okay. And then the other things that were older in my collection that I put in this video are these two items. A little bit deeper, but I don't think so. Bronzer and the liquid highlighter, and set the liquid bronzer because again I'm sticking by another highlighter. I bought a mini version. I do not like the way it looks on me. I feel like it makes me look kind of orange, starlit. Even when I do use it as a underpainted bronzer, so definitely going back in my for a skin perfecting glow. An innovative liquid highlighter on the other hand, all over face powder and serum hybrid, and use as all skin tones looking radiantly glowy primer. I'm not gonna put this all over my face because this is like it's okay as a liquid highlighter. It's beautiful. It's just not something I want to reach for that. But I would definitely use it more as the liquid luminizer underneath. So thank you. That you might use it as an eyeshadow about that in the video. Or so definitely pulling back that on my declutter. Next, so everything else going forward should be new things that I bought. It is extremely difficult to open. Okay, so we'll start with this. I do feel like mixed with the moisturizer, it did give me a nice bronzered glowy finish, or nice bronzy finish. I'm just gonna go in with my Lunar Beauty. Do I feel like I'm gonna reach for this LBF6 brush? And I'll show you honestly, I think I'll probably end up passing this along, just simply because I think I'm just not someone
I get a little closer
who's gonna reach for these products. It's just too much work, in my opinion, to have to do this. I mean, if you're liking just moisturizer and this and nothing else, maybe it would be worth it for you. So we shall but that's not something I'm gonna do. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna pass this on. But it didn't like look bad or anything like that. Okay. But again, I mixed it with my moisturizer. I don't know how it would look if I didn't. Glittery. Okay, and then the Diamond Perfector Mineral Wear BB Cream. Like I said, right now I'm not loving it. It feels like I'm looking kind of glittery. And again, like I said, I'll have to try this with other foundations to see if maybe it was this that did it. So it is, but pretty, that aside, this kind of is just clinging to everything. Like my lights are making everything kind of look smooth, but in person, it's very little bit. It's just clinging to every bit of texture and emphasizing it. Emphasizing lines, emphasizing pores. Even though it said it was supposed to blur pores, I do not see that. Okay, it's pretty at all. I like it for that, but I'm not going to keep it enough to use it for something like that. Just not my thing. but
I don't
let's move
have
on.
high hopes for this.
My
I
battery
really
is
don't.
almost going
So
dead, so
I'm
I'm
gonna
going to
take
try
one
to
right
get
now.
through this quick as I can.
Concealer.
We have the mineral
I do
wear
like the concealer.
Talc-Free
I really
mineral
liked it
airbrush
for my
and pressed
primer,
powder,
especially the little
and the
sponge
shade
applicator
translucent.
for
So
that.
use this
As
to
far
set all
as
over
under
my
eyes go,
face.
it's not bad. I do have to
I
build
do
it.
not have a setting
So it
spray
is more
today
like
because I did
medium
use all
coverage
my
and a
setting
full
spray.
coverage, and I wasn't a huge
Concealer,
fan
in my
of the setting
opinion.
spray, so I just did not
But I'll
pick another one up.
definitely put it in my rotation to use, especially
This is what this
on
compact
really
lighter
like.
makeup
It's
days where I don't want like a
old,
full
school-looking
concealed
compact.
under eye.
But yeah, I'll definitely
have a brush
put this
under
into
here.
my rotation. They like to do this compact. You have a mirror.
Next, I mean, I like this
The
color.
liquid
Butter
color.
Glow Contour Wand. I actually really like this. I love this
But
so
I
much
will
better
not be using that
than
brush
the original
today.
liquid one. And I do
We'll be
appreciate
going
that they
in
did do
with
the
my color
lockable cap.
F1.
Like I said, when it first came out, I was a little
brush.
worried I got a too dark of a
And I'm
shade,
just going
but it
to
actually blended out
tap
super
that
beautiful,
in.
super nice. Really like this. Definitely keeping.
And pounce that around my face.
Liquid blush,
And then you go
lip
in
and
with
cheek. I
powder
really
puff
like this. I think it's very
as
beautiful.
well.
Very subtle but buildable blush, and I think it makes it
I'm
not
nice
happy with how the
flush
brush,
applying
specifically
it.
this brilliant peach color on the lips. So definitely going to be putting this into my collection. And like I said, the bottles are super pretty. Love the bottle.
I'm gonna go in with the
Brows.
Beauty Project.
So we have the brow
I got
pen.
these
This is
from
the palm feathered
Bell's
micro
Outlet.
brow pen. I
Just
do
gonna
prefer a
sweep it
darker
through
shade.
here.
And again, I'm more of a pencil person, so that's just a personal preference to me. But it is one of the better
concealer.
brow
So we're gonna
pens
set
that I have
that.
used as far as application wise. Especially this brow. Like I like how this brow is looking. This one is always my problem brow, but I do want to look and see if they have a darker shade, because I do think a lot of times what I'll do is I'll
Concealer's
layer
not
like a
increasing
pencil, but then I'll go in with
anything,
this
so
as
that is
well,
nice.
like a pen.
Just going in and
So I do think
the
it'd be
powder
good
puff
for
and setting my whole
that.
face.
The brow gel, the Brazilian brow lift brow gel. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I mean, my brows look okay, pushed up. I definitely have used better brow gels than this. That pushes my brows up and makes them look a lot fuller than this. Again, yeah, this is another one of those products that I'm gonna have to try
look like
with
super cakey
products
or
I
anything.
know and
so
I
I
use
do
and
like
love
that.
before I can make a full decision
And
on
it's
this,
not
along with
clinging to
this guy.
everything.
So yeah, I will keep you guys updated on these two products specifically.
As far as
But
like
right now, they're
longevity
not
goes, I'll
my
have to try
favorite.
it to see if it holds up
to
the
highlighter
when
I get like super
the
oily, mainly on my
little
forehead and stuff. Diamond
So-
dust that is
Right now,
supposed
I
to be
like the
able
way
to
it
use all
looks
over
like
the
when
face.
first
Somehow,
application, first impressions.
I really would
think it
not
looks
want to
really
do
nice.
that because
Yeah,
it's
I like it so
already
far.
like glitter bukkake
Alright,
on
let
the side of
me
my
grab a
face. So
setting
I
spray.
definitely would not want to put this all over my face.
Colourpop no
I mean,
filter
maybe if I was
one.
going to like a club or something and wanted a sparkly face, then yeah. But other than that, no, this is not for me. So no.
Let that dry.
The mascara.
We're gonna go back in to the eyes.
I like it as far
I'm gonna
as
grab
it lengthening, but I hate the brush. The brush
part
feels like it's
fake
poking
away.
me in the eye, and
Put
I'm
that
not
in
a
my
fan of that.
waterline.
But I will be
I did
keeping it
not
and putting it
see
in my
any
travel mascara rotations.
eyeliners.
So it's gonna stay in my collection because I like
from this
the
brand that I
performance,
wanted to try.
but I hate the brush.
And then I believe the last item
Let me have to
talk
talk
about
about
is the
eyeshadow
powder.
palette.
This
No,
is
for the best that it is not broken. That fell.
Airbrushing
back.
pressed powder.
Alright, let's
I
dive
do
right back
think
into
it does
the
give an
palette
airbrush
here.
look.
I do feel like it helped quite a bit
Small smudge brush.
with making this look a little bit better. But I do feel like it's not gonna last and hold up very long in any type of
It's an E11.
heat
It's kind of
environment
flat,
or oily
really fat,
skin.
skinny brush.
But if you're just wanting
Yeah,
something for a
first
short
gonna
period
go
of time
into
and
that
looking
dark
kind of
brown
smooth and
matte.
airbrushed, I do think it's good for that. And then you have the kind of dated compact
here.
with the mirror and the old brush. Like, I do not apply powder with a brush like this. I may use this for, like, in a pinch, a contour, but not for a powder. So they really need to update their packaging. I do like this color, though. That's a very pretty metallic blue. Alright, let me know what you guys think down below. I'm going to try to do some more full face of affordable makeup videos, so stay tuned for those. They're going to kind of be spread out here and there. But yeah, for the most part, I think I liked more products than I hated. And I mean, a lot of the products I did kind of already have in my collection. So, just to kind of give you an idea of how the eyeshadows and powders perform from this brand, if you're interested. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Do you like how this turned out? Hate it? You want something more colorful? What do you think of this brand? I do feel like they are a little pricey for what they are in the drugstore. Back in the day, though, my sister used to use quite a bit of Physicians Formula stuff because she had a favorite foundation. And I don't know why these brands feel like they gotta go new constantly, because that was like her holy grail foundation for the longest time. And then they did away with it, and every foundation they have released since is horrible, in our opinion. So yeah, I don't know why brands do that. Maybe price point, I don't know. But I do feel like they're not gonna survive much longer if they are gonna keep charging the prices they charge for the quality that a lot of their stuff is.
Clean off my brush.
That's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. And before you go, if you would, please like and subscribe. Really helps me out, and I would appreciate it. I'm getting very close to my next goal, which is 250 subscribers. My biggest goal is 500 for now. Once I hit that, then I'll, more and more and more. But my biggest goal to set is 500. So I'm almost to 250. And when I hit 250, I'll be halfway there. So hopefully, get a couple more subscribers. I really appreciate it.
Now,
especially if you like beauty content, you like drugstore, you like
but
indie,
I am gonna grab
you like mainstream, all that. I try all different kinds.
brain.
I might try dipping my toe a little bit more into C beauty and K beauty and things like that, but we'll see. Because shipping costs and things like that. But let me know what you guys think down below. Do you like these style videos? Let me know what other type of videos you'd like to see. Give me some ideas, kind of. Again,
It's super pretty.
you'd like to stick around, hang out, like and subscribe down below. Really helps me out, and I would appreciate
I'm gonna grab
it. Until next time, guys. Bye.
my I'm gonna grab my eyelash curler and curl my lashes, and then we're gonna try out the little mini mascara I got, and then we'll do the lips, and then I will finish out the video and talk about what I like and don't like. Be right back. Alright, so I'm back and my lashes are curled, and I tell you guys all the time, I have very small, very droopy lashes, so I'm not the best for comparing or testing mascara, so I'll just tell you that again. But this is the Mineral Wear Diamond Mascara, a breakthrough ultra nourishing one-step mascara designed to lengthen, lift, and separate lashes. This all-in-one formula conditions and coats lashes for a polished and open eye look. Lustrous diamond dust creates a subtle yet alluring finish, while our lash strengthening peptides promote healthier looking lashes. Soothing mineral water and nourishing vitamin E transform dull lashes, leaving them feeling smooth to the touch. And it says brush through lashes starting at the base of the lash line. Work up length of lashes to tips. Apply a second coat of desired. Wash off with soap and water. And I did get a mini. Anytime I can get a mini when I'm testing something out because it is cheaper, I will.
Okay, this is the component. Nice sleek packaging. And we have, oh boy, let me try to kind of like mix it up a little bit here. So we have a silicone type wand. Very interesting shape. Alright, let's just give it a try. It is kind of a dry formula, but it's not bad. You guys can see no mascara. Mascara, you kind of get the side view a bit there. It's not my best mascara by any means, but it's not horrible. It's definitely good for an everyday. I'm not a huge fan of like super dry feeling mascaras though, because they can feel kind of thick, which is what I'm feeling on this right now. Props to them though for designing kind of an oddly shaped mascara, but it still can set on its edge. See if I can do it from here. You can still stand, well, on something that's more stable, unlike my hand, it can stand up on its own.